New Player Learns Valorant, day number 27. We started off doing our fundamentals practice in the shooting range, and I finished it off with this Eliminate 100 bots, where I tried to mimic good hygiene on strafing bots, because it's easy to strafe and shoot a stationary target, but once it starts moving, it adds a layer of like mental complexity where you start rushing because you get frustrated because you can't get your crosshair on the head when it moves. And I think if you can have good hygiene here, it transfers over into the actual games quite well. As well as I can like go back and review this a lot easier because I'm not dying. So be like, okay, why am I messing up? And as I get faster at this drill, that means my ability to acquire targets has improved. So I think it's pretty good. I then hopped into deathmatch where I tried to implement the, stop moving while shooting, where I tried to basically just exaggerate it and, be like, okay, I need to take my fingers fully off my keyboard before I can shoot. And overall, it was kind of frustrating just because I felt like I was shooting too late sometimes, but it also wasn't frustrating because it seemed to work better. Shocker, when your bullets fly where you want them to, you end up killing people. So I think I just need to continue doing this consistently for like a week, because my focus has been jumping around recently, and I think I need to just iron in on one aspect of the game. Then we hopped into ranked game number 1, where our goal was to maintain our learning objective and stop moving while shooting. I noticed that during the first round, I completely forgot about it, so after that, I decided to lock in and force myself to stop moving no matter the consequences, which turned out it worked pretty well. We ended up winning my next 2 fights after that, converting some rounds, and actually getting the W. And by that, I mean lots of kills. Now, one thing I noticed is that it's not perfect, right? But it's better, which I wouldn't expect myself to be like, oh, I'm going to force myself to not move and then not panic in a stressful situation. But what I need is when my brain's being like, oh, this is a stressful situation, to default to playing correctly instead of to default to playing incorrectly. I got this lineup on A, if you remember. I didn't learn any lineups today because I was thinking maybe I should go back to Reyna, but then Reyna isn't in this game. Actually, it is. It got stolen from me every time. I guess I'm too slow. I'm going to have to learn a lineup to lock in Reyna. Here I got walled in here with the enemy team, me by myself. I kept getting hit by this Raze nade. She was kind of nasty with them. Or maybe I'm just like hiding in predictable spots. Okay, I got punished for reloading there. I know a lot of people in the comments, oh, quit reloading, quit reloading. I don't know how many bullets I have there, but I think that's the first time I ever died because I reloaded. Here I got blinded and I kind of forgot that it blocks audio, so I didn't know that wall opened. I don't know if I would have done anything different. Maybe I could like sprayed the wall to try to scare him. But I don't know how I could have known that the wall was opening. Now, another thing that I noticed is that when I'm like focusing, okay, boom, we're playing pretty good. Here, I like planting this spot because you can like spray through. Throwing a nade here is risky. If the nade missed, look at that, he could have diffused in that time maybe, but I ended up killing him. You just plant the bomb there and then you ping it and shoot at the ping. Now, technically they can diffuse it from like an edge, so you might want to like move side to side or something like that. But I'm not really sure on how that all works. I would probably have to go into a custom game and test it out in order to learn maximum efficiency. Now, Lotus is probably my least favorite map because I have a hard time like rotating and I feel like I'm never being that productive. But I think you just have to like rotate really fast. Like as soon as they make noise anywhere, you just like leave your sight and hope one of your teammates anchors, or just try to group up with your team, or maybe you just play 5 in one site. I feel like that's going to be the meta. Okay, people are going to abandon the other maps. Here, I didn't clear that corner, and then he kills me while rotating through the smoke, which is kind of messed up. Here, I kept trying to play Link, and there I forgot that the Bulldog is burst when you're ADS, so maybe I should play with the Bulldog more to break my ADS habit, because apparently I developed one somewhere along the way, which is like good for long range engagements, but anything other than that, it's kind of trolling because it slows you down to a little crawl. So that was not good, but it's a good learning opportunity, which is all that matters. Grenade assist. I was actually productively using my grenades in this game, which was pretty cool to see because normally I just miss my grenades or don't use them all. I don't know how I didn't die there. I think the Raze was just panic spraying. And then I had like really bad ults this game on KO. I don't really know if you're. I guess you like use it when you're taking a long range engagement, but then you don't get the suppress. So it's like, do you try to cheese out the suppress, or do you try to cheese out getting revived by your teammates? I think using the suppress part of it is probably more important than using the teammate assisting part. I kind of bait Omen here because I get a kill and then I hide in the corner, so they don't really think I'm here. Or maybe he did think I was here and I just killed him too fast. That's low ping difference. I kind of am lucky and I have 8 ping, so I dominate all of these games. Not actually, but you know, it is a very beneficial, helpful metric hidden that, you know, many people might not think about. That was kind of a lucky kill because I was not aiming at her head at all, but one of the bullets bounced up there and killed her. Now, whenever you're playing A, the battle is kind of for like tree and then heaven and hell, and battling people in hell is kind of hard, so it's a pretty OP position to hold unless they have like a razor grenade or, you know, Viper Molly where they can just molly it. And in this game they had both, so you have to be cognizant of that, right? The game state changes depending on the enemy agents. Isn't that surprising? You can't just do the same thing every round, every game, and expect for it to work. Which is kind of disappointing, because in my ideal world, you know, you would just repeat the same thing ad nauseum, and there would be no level of depth to the game at all. Here I lose the fight, because I didn't know it was Arena. So when she dismissed, I was quite surprised. We ended up, you know, coming back in this game. Actually, I think we were kind of even the whole game. Back and forth. It was a real nail biter. I was like, is this going to go into overtime? Are we going to be able to win it? But luckily, my team focused up, and we won this last round. Ended up getting match MVP, which was pretty cool. On to the second game where I just get killed right off the bat. Very sad. And this game was kind of interesting because we had 2 players that would just AFK and spawn for the first initial round and then like start playing after everyone else on the team was dead. I'm not sure if this is like a meta strategy for like slow rotating. And then I die here because I shoot Yoru clone. I was getting outplayed by this Yoru. Like, he crouch sprays me there. I don't know how he knows I'm there when he crouch peeks. I feel like that should be easily killable because he's moving so slow. And then I miss a bunch of op shots, which is kind of sad. But this Skye was also like flashing and dogging me all game, which was kind of weird. I'm not sure if that's like a strategy to farm combat score, but I would imagine it wouldn't help if you're just like stunning your own teammates, because that, if anything, that should give you negative combat score. I really need to work on like figuring out if it's a Yoru clone or not. I think it's just because I'm like so focused in on my crosshair that I'm like, wait, I don't give my brain time to process. As soon as I see a visual input of an enemy, I'm pulling the trigger immediately. They also trapped me in this corner here on A for like a whole round, and then I had them muted at this point because they were like typing and like flaming a lot. So I just kind of don't know if they told the enemy team I was here, but they all rotated over while I was trapped, and I ended up getting a 4 kill, which was kind of interesting. And they weren't shooting at us, so I don't know what was going on this game. I just tried to like focus up after they trapped me in the corner. I was like, okay, I'm just going to treat this game as practice and work on crosshair placement and, you know, stopping moving while shooting and, you know, things like that, just good hygiene. And after I started doing that, I felt like my mental was restored to me, because when I was getting like flashed and dogged and stuff like that, it was kind of annoying because I couldn't play the game. At least I felt like I couldn't play the game. I'm sure that if I didn't let it bother me, then I could have played better overall. I'm not sure if this game was winnable, but it definitely could have been closer, and I could have lost less RR. Spoiler alert, we did lose, but on the bright side, I feel like I now know that if your teammates are trolling you, you don't stand in a corner, because that gives them a great opportunity to super troll you. And then I've, of course, not aiming at the head there. I really, really need to get better at aiming at the head. My headshot percentages have been slowly increasing. Like if I average them all out, they're up 4% week over week, which is pretty cool. So we just have to keep, you know, making that small improvement in headshot percentage and making small improvements in our gameplay. And then over the long term, it will all coalesce into greatness. Of course, we hop into the aim trainer at the end of the day, and we end up, you know, basically getting 2 new high scores. The aim is getting crispier, but the high scores are getting smaller and smaller improvements. But that still shows that we are going to have better raw aim.